turn to the next chart. Now, the part that I had you skip was just basic questions on what equipment do you need, how are we going to test for a physical change or for a chemical change? Well, we're going to use this red cabbage juice as an indicator to see what kind of chemical reactions can occur between the cabbage juice and the 4 white substances, and then between the combinations of those. Okay? Also, what safety gear do I need to have? Goggles. What else?
Apron.
Well, I have a lab coat instead of an apron.
And hair in a ponytail.
My hair's in a ponytail.
Gloves.
And gloves. Okay.
Why do you need gloves?
I need gloves
To protect.
because I don't want to get the chemicals on my hands. Because some of them you don't want to get them on your hands. Okay, my feet are covered. All right, are we ready? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 50 milliliters of red cabbage juice, and I'm going to mix it into each of these 4 white powders. Okay, and as we do this, we're going to fill out the chart just like we did just a second ago. So we're going to look for a color change, and then I'll tell you what to write. So you're going to, if there's a color change, you'll write yes, and then what color it is. Okay? Yes, sir.
How do we know if there's a temperature change?
I will tell you if there's a temperature change, okay? Because I'm going to be the one feeling it. I will let you know if there's a temperature change, and then you will use your eyes to tell if a gas is produced, and your eyes to tell if a precipitate is formed. All right? So first we have sodium bicarbonate, okay? Which is baking soda, okay? Just a plain white powder. Now I'm going to pour my cabbage juice in.
Whoa.
Okay. So it turned, was there a color change? Yes, so write yes in the box. What color did it turn?
Blue.
Blue. And I can feel it with my fingers, it's getting colder. So for temperature change, write yes, and then write colder. Okay, chemical reaction. All right. Now, same thing, I've got my red cabbage juice. And my magnesium sulfate, which is Epsom salt. Sometimes they use it to make bath crystals. Sometimes you soak your feet in Epsom salt. If you have a rash, you take a bath in Epsom salt. You can use Epsom salt in your garden to help your roses. Okay? So Epsom salt and red cabbage juice. Okay, not much of a color change, but hang on. And it's turning purple. So there is a color change. It's turned purple. And there's a temperature change, and it has gotten cooler. The more I stir it, the cooler it gets. See how it's turning more purple than it was before? No. See, you can tell the difference when I hold them beside each other. Okay? See? Okay. Now, so was there a color change?
Yes.
Yes. What color did it turn? Purple. I said there was a temperature change. Yes. And it got cooler. Okay, for here, for the first one, I skipped ahead. I apologize. When I did the first one, this blue one, did it bubble up and foam?
Yes.
No, it did not. So there was no gas produced. Okay. Other than this white powder that was already in here, is there any chunks of a solid in here?
No.
No, so no precipitate was formed. Okay? So what was our 2 pieces of evidence that a chemical change occurred? Yes, ma'am.
The color change and the temperature change.
So write color and temp in this box right there. Now when I mixed the magnesium sulfate, did it bubble up and foam?
No.
No. Is there any new solid formed? No. And the change is color and temp. So no gas produced, no precipitate is formed, and color and temp. Yes, sir.
After you like mix them up, or can you still drink it?
No, you don't drink it. Okay. Now, I have calcium chloride, which is a white powder, but it looks, they're like nerds or Dippin' Dots. Okay. All right. White powder, pink liquid.
What the?
What is it? It's green. It changes color.
Okay. Color change, yes. It turns green.
That was blue at first.
Okay. Temperature change.
Yes.
Sir, will you put your finger on the bottom of the cup and tell me how it feels? Warmer? It's getting warmer. Put your finger on the side of the cup.
How did it do that?
Okay. There's a temperature change and it got warmer. The more I stir, the warmer it gets. Are there bubbles forming at the top?
Yes.
Yes. So what does that mean?
Gas.
It means there's a gas being formed. So color change, yes, and green. Temperature change, yes, and warmer. Gas produced, yes, because there's bubbles. And there's no new solid that's formed. See? It's just a warm liquid. Yes, sir.
Can we put hot in that?
You can put hotter. Am I in the way? Okay.
Yeah.
Do I need to repeat these?
Gas. Gas.
Okay.
Gas.
Gas.
And gas.
Color, temp, and gas. Yes. All right. So now I have my sodium carbonate, which is another white powder. These flakes are a little bit finer than the other ones. It's not like the big dots or anything. Now this one, keep in mind, some chemical changes happen over a period of time. If you put a nail outside and it gets rained on, is it going to rust automatically?
No.
No, it takes a while being exposed to the oxygen for it to rust, right? So this one, I'm going to tell you there is a color change, but you write down the first color, and then I'm going to have you write down another color later, okay? Do you have a question? Okay, here we go. Okay, so color change, yes, green. Okay, now it's kind of a lighter green. Don't write the lighter green down, just write green down. There is a temperature change. It has gotten warmer. This one is not as warm as the other one. Okay. Now, as the class slowly goes along, this last cup is going to be this color. By the end of class, it will be this yellow color. So go ahead and write color change green, and then put like a little arrow, like pointing like it's going green to yellow. So it'll turn green to yellow. Okay. Did we say, was there gas produced or there bubbles forming? Yes, there was a gas produced. Is there a solid formed? No. So what's our three pieces of evidence? Color, temperature, and gas. Very good. Okay, now we're going to mix these chemicals together in these test tubes. Now I know you may not be able to see the test tubes, but I will hold them up and give you the descriptions when I mix them, okay? So first of all, go ahead and turn the page to the next chart. Okay, you'll slide it up some more so you get, no, A, B, C, D, E, and F. We're going to be looking for the same things. We're going to look for a color change, a temperature change, if a gas is produced, if a precipitate is formed, and then we're going to write what evidence we have, okay? All right. You, sir, read to me the first two chemicals that I'm going to mix for A.
Sodium bicarbonate and magnesium sulfate.
Okay, so I'm going to mix sodium bicarbonate, which is this blue one. Okay. That's my sodium bicarbonate. and magnesium sulfate. Okay, which is the purple one. Okay. There has been a color change. It changed a different shade of blue, a little bit lighter blue. So color change, yes, and blue. There is a decrease in temperature. So yes, there was a temperature change and it got cooler. And we didn't see this before, but there's little tiny bubbles coming up. There are little bitty bubbles coming up to the front. See those little tiny bubbles? Okay, there's little tiny bubbles. Like if you pour Sprite and then it sits for a lot while and then you see the little tiny bubbles coming up. So yes, there was a gas produced. But do you see any solid?
No.
No. No solid was formed. So what's our evidence?
Color,
temperature, and
gas.
Okay, very good. Okay, what's our next two substances that we're mixing?
Sodium bicarbonate and calcium chloride.
Okay, so sodium bicarbonate, this is the blue one, and calcium chloride, which is the green one. Look how the sodium carbonate, though, is turning more yellow. Okay, so let's watch this.
Whoa.
Wait a
Oh, it's
second.
foaming. Whoa.
Okay.
It's foaming. It's foaming. Whoa. It's foaming.
All right. So, what was there a color change?
Yes.
Yes, it turned light purple. Is there a temperature change? Y'all don't know. No, there is no temperature change. Is it gas produced?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And
All
no
right.
precipitant.
Where's my paper towels? Okay,
So they were color and gas.
color and gas. Okay,
That was cool.
all right. Now C, what do we have?
Sodium bicarbonate and sodium carbonate.
Okay, sodium bicarbonate. And sodium carbonate.
Yes.
I see the bubble.
Okay,
Yeah, you can see
So-
bubbles going up.
yes, there was a color change. It turned green. There is no temperature change. No gas was formed. Those aren't really bubbles.
Somebody told that the blue.
No precipitate was formed.
Hey, I just need you to make sure that you leave all your computers on. They don't have to be logged in. Just
Okay.
stay on.
Thank you. Okay, and so what was our evidence? We only had one piece of evidence, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's our evidence? Color change. Okay, next we have magnesium sulfate. And what was it? Sodium carbonate. So we're mixing purple and yellow. I'm gonna hold this up. Okay, purple and yellow.
Well, there's purple at the bottom and green at the. Look, it's a solid. It's solid.
It's Okay, settle down. Okay, see the solid in there?
No.
Look, it's not pouring down. It was two liquids, and there's a solid.
What?
Okay? So, yes, there was a color change. Yes, there was a color change. It changed to green. No, there was not a temperature change. There was no gas produced. Was a precipitate formed?
Yes.
Yes. So what's our evidence? Color and precipitate. Yes. Absolutely. That was cool. Okay. Now, what do we have next? We are on test tube E. Test tube E. Magnesium sulfate,
Calcium.
which is the purple one again,
Calcium.
and calcium carbonate, which is the yellow one. I'll hold this one up so you can see it. Okay, test tube F.
Wait, it says calcium chloride.
Oh, calcium chloride. Sorry, we would have done the same thing again, huh? Okay. Magnesium sulfate and calcium chloride.
Is it turned solid?
Okay, what color did it turn?
Green.
Light green. And did it bubble up?
Yes.
No, it didn't bubble up. No temperature change.
It's solid. Whoa.
Complete solid.
Whoa. Color.
Like is it?
It's kind of goopy.
Oh, I want to touch it.
No, we're not touching. Complete solid. So did it form a precipitate?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so what was our evidence? Color and precipitate. All right, last but not least, we have sodium carbonate. And calcium chloride. Okay, I'm gonna hold this one up. This one, I'm not sure if you can see from back there, but that's okay, let's just watch.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a solid.
There is a color change. It's turning kind of green.
Yellow and green. Yeah, it's turning green.
It's
in the
separated.
top.
It's lime green.
It's yellowish green, but look, it's kind of
Yeah,
it's kind of like a gel, isn't it?
But I can't see.
Yeah, you can see the.
You smell it.
Hang on. See, it's kind of like a gel.
It's Jello.
Okay, let me move it over here.
Oh.
See, it's like a gel. Okay. All right, so let's fill in the rest of our chart. Color change? Not really.
Color change no. It's a light green though.
You can put light green, but it didn't really change color.
But can you put yes?
Not really. Okay. Temperature change? No. Did it bubble and form a gas?
No.
No. Did it form a precipitate?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so what was our evidence?
Color.
Color, sort of, and precipitate. Okay. Now I want you to answer the rest of your lab questions, and we'll discuss more of this tomorrow.